So namaskar to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Wish you all a very pleasant good evening. And on behalf of Economic Times, I extend a special thanks to each one of you for joining us this evening, waiting away from this heavy traffic which is outside and making it to this evening. So thank you so very much. And ladies and gentlemen, this evening is all about rewarding and recognizing and appreciating the hardware, the software, and the service companies in the technology space. And at the same time, also trying to understand what is their USP, what actually makes them stand out in the B2B technology space. So indeed, a very hearty welcome to each one of you in the Economic Times Tech Brands 2015. Ladies and gentlemen, the felicitation which we have today is actually based on a survey which was done by MRSS along with Economic Times. In fact, Economic Times has also been conducting surveys in the other areas, but specifically for the technology, we tied up with MRSS, the leaders. And during the survey, we actually went for the survey of 400 technology brands across 8 cities and taking the feedback from close to 2,500 customers, trying to get understanding of what are the customers' preferences and why a channel partner actually chooses a kind of a brand over the other kind of a brand. To share with you further, ladies and gentlemen, the 400 brands, when we further went into doing this survey, we shortlisted them to close to 300. They were further shortlisted to 150. And then some of them chose to be part of the coffee table book, which is going to be today unveiled here. And most of them are present with us in this ceremony. Further, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned that it was to gather or to get an information and understanding why a customer chooses a particular kind of brand. If you see, there are so many brands in the market, and given a choice, at times certain brands are irresistible brands. They have a certain power. They have a certain characteristics that a customer gets actually drawn to that particular brand. On the face of it, it looks very simple, but there is a lot much which goes in making this brand, in building this brand, in creating this brand, further managing this brand, and also building that brand loyalty. And so that this brand is able to maintain that same kind of pull among its customers. So we have our brand leaders present with us. We have the leading brands, and from them we'll try understanding what makes a brand stand out. How do you create a brand? How do you manage this brand? And how do you work on creating this brand loyalty? Especially in this age of digital age, when again there are so many brands, and it is not just about the vendor presentation to the customer. It is also about the online sources. It's also about the social media. It's also getting a feedback from many people. And so it's not just about those flashy apps or gizmos or when you talk about the new platforms. We also try to get a sense from our speakers as they are going to be addressing us during the panel discussion, that is it about all these flashy apps and gizmos, or it still stands about the customer's preference and the customer experience, and going a little more beyond, is it about still the human factor and the human spirit in the business that actually attracts the customer or makes you stand out as a brand and as such dealing with you as a brand. So all this we are going to be discussing as we go forth, and of course we are going to be framing that Hall of Fame or the Wall of Fame, Hall of Fame or the Wall of Fame as you say, for recognizing the brands today. But before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite here Mr. Rishi Kapoor, the Sector Head, Times Conferences Limited, Bennett Coleman and Company, for his opening remarks, and also to share with us what is the thought and what is the idea which actually went behind this evening and recognizing the brands here. May I invite here Mr. Rishi Kapoor.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a pleasure to be in the company of senior dignitaries from the world of technology. On behalf of the Economic Times, I welcome you all to the special edition of the Best Tech Brands 2015. As you will agree, in today's world, where a new brand is emerging in the market every day, each claiming to be unique, measuring any brand success is becoming a tricky affair, both from the makers and the consumer's perspective. It is especially so in the contemporary digitized economy, where people have an emotional connect with the products and services they use. Thus, given the multitude of options that currently abound, brand managers have to work harder to make the products stand out and build enduring brand loyalty. The Economic Times has always been in the forefront when it comes to facilitating corporate brands build their brands by giving them a clear understanding of what their target audience expects and how they can match those expectations, whether it is from B2B customers or B2C end user. We realized creating a brand identity can be complicated, especially for evolving brands. However, there are lessons to be learned by observing the leading brands in the technology field. This summit is our effort to acknowledge such technology brands and is based on a survey conducted by MRSS and Economic Times across 400 tech brands by taking feedback from 2,500 people across 8 selected cities with an objective to obtain an innate understanding about consumer preferences and the reasons that prompt channel partner to choose specific brands over others. The results of the survey are being revealed this evening through the participation of leading dignitaries from the technology industry. An exclusive coffee table will be launched during the course of the evening, followed by panel discussion. Further, without any delay, let me leave the discussion to the expert, and I hope the round of discussion gonna add value, real-time value back to the industry. Thank you.